It's about now.
There he is.
It's like we're frozen. Hey, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome. It is 10 o'clock on Saturday, July 12th. How come some people say July?
July.
Yeah, instead of July. I hear people say July.
Yeah, that might be maybe Southerners say July.
Is it Southern? All right. Well,
Good.
welcome to July.
July.
We didn't do a show last week. We're back. We haven't done a show in a few weeks, I feel like.
I think that's right, because you've been traveling. You've been a busy guy.
I have been all over the place.
Yeah.
I've been every place, man.
And it's automotive travel.
What's that?
It's automotive travel.
A lot of it was for work. A lot of it was just my son and I we do a random city every once in a while. We went to Omaha a couple of years ago. This year we went to Minneapolis. We were woken up at 12:50 in the morning with our phones screaming that there was a tornado nearby.
Oh.
And to take immediate shelter.
Wow. Did you experience the tornado?
No, but it was nearby.
It was nearby.
But every alarm in the hotel went off.
Wow. Well, that's good, because
Ray says inexcusable lack of shows. I'm going to write a letter. Maybe that letter should be E instead of W, Ray.
I had the occasion to be in Bremerton the other day.
Oh, wow.
I was picking up a set of wheels that I had powder coated for my 63 Studebaker Avanti. And the shop was out in Bremerton. And I dropped off another set of parts with a different vendor. And on the way to that vendor, I'm on the main road and I'm looking around going, this looks really familiar. I'll bet this is near where Ray is. And sure enough, right off on my left, I passed by affordable used cars in Bremerton. And the only way I knew that it was coming up, the Dutch Brothers Coffee Shop.
Well, there you go.
Where we have enjoyed coffee with Ray. And
maybe next week we'll do a drive.
Yeah, we could certainly do that.
When can we drive the Avanti?
We could, but I'm still finishing it. It's got some mechanical things I want to get sorted out and make sure it's all dialed in for fun and games.
That will be the very first time we've driven one of your cars.
Oh, no, I thought maybe you're right. No,
yeah.
we were in separate cars. We've done separate car ones.
Right. That's true. You were in, that's when the Saab went into the car wash. Adam says he's from the South. He's never pronounced it July.
Okay.
But that's Nolans.
Nolans has their own local language.
Yes. And then Ray says, yes, the four used cars where dreams were made and shattered.
Oh, dear. Oh, the dreams that are shattered? The dreams of people thinking their Cadillac is worth $50,000. And Ray says, I'll give you $9,000 for it. And that's what it's worth.
$9,000, 900. And I've shattered the back window of my car as well.
Yes, that's right. So go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'll get down to comment in a second.
Okay. I particularly excited because summer brings out exciting cars. People usually bring out their cars to car shows, ones they've been working on, finishing up, get the summer drive going and everything. So the landscape changes. I was out driving a fair amount yesterday and the day before, touring such wonderful cities as Poulsbo, Silverdale, and Bremerton.
Wow.
And
trifecta.
Yes. And boy, there were a lot of really nice, not just vintage cars, but probably on their way to various shows or something like that. But there were a lot of just nice cars. Now, sunny day, people get their car washed and cars look 100% better. But one of the things that I was reminded about was new cars today actually stay cleaner longer than old cars used to. And this is kind of an interesting phenomenon. The paint finish and the glass on new cars is so much better than it was even 20 years ago. The durability of clear coating, not only that, so many cars get clear protective film put on, ceramic coatings, not just for the car, but you ceramic coat the glass as well. Windshield wipers have gotten better, so glass scratches less. These panoramic roofs with glass tops and everything, and the pervasive, smaller, much better for your car washes that are out there now. So cars are cleaner now than they have ever been, and they stay cleaner longer.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Cars are. Now I was in Arizona this past week, 118 degrees.
Nice.
People say, "What's it like?" I'm like, "It's like a sauna. It's literally like a sauna." And I went to this really nice area called Scottsdale.
Yes,
Where
Scottsdale.
it's very wealthy.
Yes.
And I did see a lot of cars out and about. I went into the mall.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do this properly. And in the mall, I saw this store.
Ah, yes.
Very nice. And they were busy talking to people.
Yes, which reminds me, I need to give you my neighbor's phone number because he's considering buying one and wants to chat with you about what you recommend.
The BMW i4 I recommend. Lucid, very nice as well. They had the new SUV there.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting to see. And this is about 7 o'clock at night, mind you. This isn't like near closing time or anything. And then I walked by this store and they were closed.
Oh, really?
The Tesla store was not open.
Interesting. No cars in there, or?
Oh, the cars were in there. The screen is on here. Tiffany and Company's across the way, so you can see it reflecting.
Yeah.
And there was just an ominous cyber truck. I should have gotten that picture. Just sitting in the back of the showroom with the light on, just glowing.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, there you go. And just this morning I was reading an article about the impact of tariffs on new cars. And I don't think we're seeing significant changes yet, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, as you know, most major dealers keep a couple months of inventory. And
right, but they're going to jack the prices up as soon as they know. I mean, Mercedes sales were down.
Yep.
They were impacted. Obviously, Tesla does not have the tariffs, but they're about to lose the $7,500 at the end of September.
Yeah.
That was Adam's comment earlier. He's in Redmond yesterday. Saw a ton of Teslas.
Mm-hmm.
I can see there being a lot in Redmond, but there's also, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And almost all of them have either the F Elon sticker or felon, as it spells.
Yes.
Or I bought this before. This is a classic Tesla.
Yeah.
But when you see the new version of the Y, you're like,
yes.
No, that came out afterwards, folks. You can't say that.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of things are changing politically with automobiles. I don't know how much of the interview you saw with the CEO of Ford. He's speaking quite candidly about his shock and amazement at Chinese built electric cars. And he makes no bones about it. He's stating basically that the Chinese have developed electric cars to a level that we can't in America compete with at this point, both from a price point and from a technology perspective. Now, nothing's been mentioned about the durability or reliability of these cars because, as you well know, China has quite a bit of limit and restriction on vehicle use, and it is extremely expensive to buy a car in China, especially in some of the major cities. The tax for a vehicle is almost doubles the price of the car.
Yeah.
So even though they're selling one of their new models, their top seller gets a 650-mile range, and it's a 7-passenger SUV profile. That's pretty impressive. But the question is, how long will it last? What's the reliability? It's all programmable from your phone too. So it's quite interesting how they've developed these cars. But I think it says something when the CEO of Ford is vocal about how advanced these products are.
Yeah, and Adam says he's never seen car dealerships in a mall before. Actually, that's all Tesla stores used to be started in malls, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's one at University Village. I think there's a in Bellevue is where they have a Lucid and a Polestar in the Bellevue Mall. I think there was a Tesla in there too.
Well, Lucid isn't Lucid the same sales model as Tesla? They don't have
no physical.
Right.
Yeah, they're direct to consumer, and they're built. All of them are built in Arizona. I think they're the most American-made car
on a per part per vehicle basis.
Yeah,
that would be a good study for us to do. I actually thought, and I'd done this some years ago, the Toyota Camry was, because so much of it was made in the United States. But it's harder to do now than before because many of the parts come from a different location, but they're assembled in the United States. So it appears to be assembled in the United States when the parts have different sources. There's no 100%. I think the last 100% manufactured vehicle in the United States was the Model T. They literally mined the fields, got the material to make the metal, and cast the parts and made the sheet metal for the bodies. They cut down trees from the forest that Ford owned to make the spokes for the wheels. The list goes on. And it was manufactured, built by American citizens in America. But
I'll take it back. Lucid is not as high up on the list as I thought. What Lucid is they don't outsource. Like most of their technology they own.
Okay.
And so they are least reliant on other companies for their product. And they have the biggest range of an American-made car. They're all made in Arizona, ironically. I was just there. I didn't go. But the most made car is the Model Y. Number 2 is the Honda Passport, built in Alabama.
Okay.
Number 3 is the Volkswagen ID4, built in Tennessee. Model X, Model S, Honda Odyssey, Acura MDX, some U.S. versions of the Toyota Camry. It depends on the exact version. Probably some of the higher end ones might have more, like the leather might not be from here. Who knows? Jeep Cherokee and Ford Bronco.
Okay. So these are the ones that have the highest percentage of U.S. made.
Yes. Made in USA, including final assembly location, percentage of U.S. and Canadian parts, origin of the engine and transmission, and U.S. manufacturing workforce.
Okay. Interesting. It would be also interesting to do from the reverse with the highest level of components. I know Mexico still supplies, like for Volkswagen, Mexico makes and supplies almost all the interiors for Volkswagens. And several other mechanical components, sub-assemblies, are made in Canada and Mexico as well. The advantage to Canadian and Mexican import product for automobiles is, it's obvious, it's the transit savings, because you can rail ship, which is very inexpensive, as opposed to sea shipping, which takes a long time and has a lot of challenges, weather challenges, and potential loss and damage challenges.
But Tesla, the car will deliver itself. That's what they're doing. They're having, if you live near the factory, they just put your home address in the car and it just drives to your house. You're laughing. I'm completely serious.
That would really be something.
It is.
That's.
Hold on. I'll pull up the article. For the least made,
that's how they're arriving at your home.
You can get a car delivered to your house direct from the factory from Tesla. I think they did their first one in Austin.
Wow.
Recently.
That's
The
impressive.
Model Y.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find the article. But the least made is the BMW X3.
Oh,
It's built in Spartanburg, South Carolina, with 9% U.S. Canadian. So they can consider Canadian parts as well.
well, I think it's North American now. They say,
Well, that's going to change when you put tariffs on everything Canadian and Mexican.
well, that's true. Yeah.
It gets rid of.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. But then we're going to get into a political discussion about that. But, you know, look, the automotive world is so complex. The manufacturing is so complex. Now, it was already complicated to begin with because you had such a range of material product that had to go into a thing that constantly vibrates, constantly jiggles around, is experiencing changes in temperature, runs in an outdoor environment. So that stuff alone was hard to keep together just with mechanical features. Now you add computers, software, and touch screens and detailed, very refined mechanics. And now you've got a whole host of problems that are extremely difficult to solve. In my opinion, the manufacturing of industrial products should be exempt from political impact. I know this is a strange thing to say, but all products, all commercial industrial products should be exempt from any political action. That's the only way to separate what's going on in the automotive world, because not just automobiles, but planes, trains, buses, motorcycles, all of the transportation infrastructure worldwide is impacted by political problems. That's the number one reason why we have so much financial challenges with automobiles. Primarily, it's because of the politics associated with it.
And it bounces all over the place right now. That's the other problem. You can't plan when you don't know what it's going to be. All right, here I've got a gift for you. Here we go.
All right, what do you got here?
Oh, this is in the factory by itself. Now it's using robotaxi software, which is monitored. So there's somebody sitting at their computer making sure it doesn't do anything wrong. The bottom screen is a video of it leaving. They
So
set it up.
someone is inside the car with it?
No, this car's all by itself.
That's a little creepy.
I'm going to speed it up even more.
That's a long drive, too.
It's a 30-minute drive to the delivery.
Wow. Can you imagine passing that and wondering, where's the driver?
Well, that's what it's like in Phoenix. All the Waymos are driving around by themselves.
What if a car like this is the speed limit? And a cop pulls it over.
What's that?
If a cop pulls this car over for speeding, let's say, even if they're wrong and they've metered it incorrectly, the police pulls it over. Who gets the ticket?
I'm guessing there's no law for that yet. It would have to be the owner.
Right.
But the car is probably programmed to never speed.
But that's fine. I've been pulled over for some assumptions on what I've done that might be illegal, and you still get pulled over. Yeah. And you still have to go to, and I, you were exceeding such and such, or you didn't do a turn indicator, or you didn't get a this or whatever. But that's impressive that this vehicle.
Oh, there it is at the person's house. It just delivered itself. That's
pretty impressive. Look how excited he is to get in and drive it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Now, I don't know that they're going to do that all the time. That was the one that they promoted. That was a big deal because it was near the Gigafactory. But when you're in Phoenix or San Francisco or LA, the Waymos are everywhere.
Well, did you hear I don't know if you know the Model Ys, several of them were being returned people were complaining there was a like, I guess they'd sprayed something inside of them or something to make them smell like new car or something, but people were returning them.
Why?
Too much musk.
Oh. I knew there was a dad joke in there somewhere. Now, Adam talks about dealerships and malls, and Dan mentions a bunch of Cybertrucks sitting at the local dealership.
Yeah.
I can't pull it up quick enough, but I know I played it in a previous show. When Josh and I were in Atlanta at the mall that they used for Stranger Things, there were 8 rows of Cybertrucks and Model Ys sitting in the parking lot of the mall, which was closed.
Yeah.
And then behind it was a dealership that had a 5-story parking garage filled with Teslas.
I think what they should do is somebody with a lot of money should buy like 50 Cybertrucks and then stage a Cybertruck demolition derby. And I think a lot of people would come to that event. And then you've seen demolition derbies before. You put 10 cars out on the track, they start going around, and who will survive? People would pay good money for that.
Well, the thing I've still said a million times that they should have done is they should just mark them down to $29,000.
Yeah.
Get the $7,500 back while it's still there.
Yep.
And just unload them.
Yeah.
Speaking of unloading cars, I think I will now concede that you will be correct about the Slate truck, because the Slate truck was counting on the $7,500, which was signed into law until 2032.
Right.
But 2032 is when that law was supposed to expire.
Okay.
And now that's being canceled, that truck will not come out in the 20,000 range, because they're not going to have the advantage of that $7,500. So now it's going to be a $30,000 truck.
Yeah. Look, again, whenever you have government involved in industrial manufacturing, especially with automobiles, there's going to be problems. And this isn't just our recent administration. The recent administration has made it difficult from a planning perspective. There's no doubt. But that's now the advantage. There are advantages to government intervention. Obviously, safety, regulations, emissions. There are some advantages in that vein, but in terms of the sales and marketing and distribution of these products, I think that one of the biggest challenges is that, and this is why startup companies have to have billions and billions of dollars to get into the automotive manufacturing world, because it's just it's impossible to get in because of government limitations. You go back to the 1920s, 30s, even up to the early 50s, you could manufacture a car and sell it without having to worry about government intervention. And it's become much more difficult to do that today, with a lot of benefits, no doubt. But that's one of the big problems, I think. And I think it's a huge problem for a company like Slate, for example, that's trying to do something innovative. And I give them a lot of credit, but it's going to be very, very difficult for that vehicle to be released for the price they're hoping.
Yeah. And that definitely hurts that they're losing the $7,500.
Yep.
It's not a good idea to count on it.
Well, see, and again, $7,500 to the purchase of a $50,000 car, which is the average price of a new car today. $7,500 is not going to break the bank for a lot of people. Now, you go to a $100,000 car, it's almost negligible for somebody. But well, that's not even the tax you would pay. It's less than that. So, but on a $25,000 car, now you're talking about 30+% of the purchase price. Yeah. It's not going to be absorbed.
Yeah. Couple comments we missed. We're talking about indoor. There's a Portland Volvo dealership that's all indoor. I noticed that in Minneapolis. They were huge. I thought, I'm like, I didn't know BMW had a plant here. It was this huge white building. It was just a dealership, but it was 100% indoors. And then they had Audi. A lot of them were the same.
Well, I think a
Dan
lot
also says autopilot cars, so people don't freak out seeing nobody in the seat.
yeah. Yeah, it's like in San Francisco, the first time I saw those Waymo cars driving around,
Yeah,
it's a little eerie because there's nobody sitting in the driver's seat. I've actually tested them too, like being behind one at a light. I pulled up to get as close as I can to the rear bumper, and I'm like within inches, and then it moves up a little bit, and I pull up, man, it moves up a little,
and
and
then
then
some other's hand came out and flipped you off. Yeah, the first I've told this story, but I'll tell it again. The first time I saw one in Phoenix, I thought it was a Google Maps car because it's got that big thing on the top that's spinning. So I thought, and I'm like looking, I roll my window down, I put my arm out, like I want to be in the picture as it goes by, and I'm like, there's nobody driving it.
Well, again in San Francisco, I'll pull up alongside one, and I'll inch close to the side of it, and it'll back off, and then I can get in the lane in front of it.
Yeah. Adam, we were talking about who would get the ticket. He assumes the owner would get the ticket. And I would assume that's going to be the law. Is you're responsible because think about it, if your car goes through a red light, the ticket gets sent to you, and then you have to say, "Oh, look, that's not me driving it." But here in Washington, for personal identity issues, they don't take a picture of your face apparently.
Right.
So you can just say, "I wasn't driving that day."
Right.
How do you prove an egg? I mean, you can't prove that you were or weren't.
Well, doesn't insurance go with the vehicle as well? So if I loan my car to you and you're in an accident, the insurance company that covers the vehicle
Yes.
is the responsible party, not Dan, the driver.
Right. Speaking of Dan, he says he'll drive one of the cyber trucks in the Derby. I'm thinking that I'm pretty sure that's where that came in.
I think you're right. That would be fun. You have to admit. In fact, you could probably sell tickets, and people could bid. They could do like an auction bidding. I would actually pay good money. I'd pay $1,000 right off the bat
to drive one.
Yes, to drive one in a Derby, just to wreck it and to wreck other. And I have a tremendous amount of admiration for the people that build automobiles. Again, you take the politics out of it, and you just look at the crafting, the industry, the technology, the artistry, all of that stuff. And independent of your aesthetic assessments of the Cybertruck, it's a pretty magnificent thing.
Yeah.
I would have made it smaller.
Well, if you think about, I've been watching old Johnny Carson's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, you hear him talking about, because the show was never political, but he made fun of whoever the president was at the time.
Sure.
But you think about 1973 when all the changes happened with emissions, and then all the bumper changes.
Yep.
And even like the DeLorean,
yeah,
was higher than it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
They basically reversed the suspension to raise the front end up a little higher, so the bumper was the right height. And so government's been involved in a long time.
Yeah, and that's been a problem because it impacts making the product overall. So much has to go into doing that. It raises the price. It raises the anxiety. It creates a lot of tension in the manufacturing, and downstream, sales and marketing are impacted by all of that.
Yeah.
During the early 70s, 73, 74, 75, automobile design was awful. Some of the worst cars in the world, because they had to incorporate these standards literally within days of them being announced. The next model year had to be designed up and ready to go. So you had these awful, awful bumpers. Look at some of the Italian cars that were done during that period. Like a Lamborghini Countach has these giant loaves of bread in the front because the front of that car is so low and so wedged. So it's just again, you have emissions that choke off engines. You have engine problems that increase because of some of the requirements that were done before the technology had a chance to catch up to it. Safety, certainly safety has improved dramatically over the years because of government intervention. And all of these things are good things, but it has to all be evened out, because as things get to be harder and harder to make and sell, I think what we're seeing now is we're seeing an obscene amount of impact, political impact on manufacturing and sales of vehicles.
Yeah, and a lot of people, there was nobody was being forced to buy an EV. The $7,500 credit was there to stimulate lower emissions, basically, and lower greenhouse gases, which, that just got, that was in the new bill, that's gone too. They got rid of the CAFE laws. So there's no requirements. So a lot of companies are like, well, we can make, big V8 cars again if we want to. Who cares? We don't have to have an electric car to subsidize or to balance it. But if you take all the oil subsidies that the oil companies get for drilling and tax breaks and blah, 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 it's probably about the same amount of money per car in federal money going to pay for the oil companies. And those aren't being shut off, and nobody's complaining about those.
Yeah.
Because those have just always been there.
Well, and this is why you and I have had this conversation many times, and I've said it many times on our show. The best automobile to buy is a 2-year-old or 5-year-old used car, plain and simple, because you're not buying the car brand new. So you have not committed to resources that had to be taken to build it. You're not subject to as many of the governmental impacts and the price fluctuations. And you can take your time buying. Whereas with new cars, there's a limit on what is out there, what's available. You and I, if we hit the lottery overnight and we said, let's go buy a new Ferrari, we wouldn't be able to get one, because Ferrari has such a tight vetting process. They don't want to sell to rubes like us one of their brand new cars, because they're worried that we won't be qualified enough, and we would take it out and we would wreck it, or we'd do something vile with it on Instagram that would upset their brand. So they're not just expensive. You have to wait in line for an allocation through the dealer to come through, and you can't buy a premium one for your first one. They'll give you this one. Here's the one you can buy. You start with this. You have to own it for a year, and then we'll move you up. We'll move you up and we'll fit you into the allocation. We'll see where, and again, you have none of this to worry about if you buy a used one.
Yeah. And Adam says the most part now, owning a Cybertruck becomes more of a political statement than actually wanting to own it based on the vehicle's merit. The vehicle is not that great. I mean, I was beside one yesterday in the ferry line, and just the lines are just off, and it's just all smudged. And now they're finding that, hey, you can't really wrap a plain metal car. When you can wrap it, but unwrapping it is so expensive because the glue sticks.
Yeah, because it's
not the same as wrapping on a car with clear coat.
Right. The ideal wrap goes on a surface that is as slick and non-porous as possible. And if you magnify stainless, you'll find that it has porosity. So it has greater friction, which means greater grip when there's adhesion. The ideal wrap for a car, and this is why when you take a car to get it wrapped, they will wash, wax, clean, prep your surface, and even ceramic coating is recommended, because it'll be easier to get the wrap off.
Yes.
And wrapping.
We participate in a few wrap offs here and there.
Yeah.
Like the wrapper.
But look, there's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing, there's no motivation that I can think of to purchase a Cybertruck today. It's not a truck. It doesn't work or operate like a truck. It's not a vehicle that you can realistically use to transport your kids, or it's not a commuter car. You're not going to use it on a regular basis. It's just a big, obtrusive, uh, statement that wants to be seen, and in many ways, it's kind of like it's sort of emblematic of some of the ugliness of the politics and wealth that have pervaded so much of our contemporary culture.
Yeah.
You
Dan
know,
brings up a good. Oh,
when you think about, for example, when the Mustang came out, the brand new 64 and a half Mustang, this was a big deal. People waited in line at dealerships to get one, and it was a beautiful car. It didn't have any political connection whatsoever. It wasn't trying to be something. It was trying to free you as a driver, as a commuter, as it was trying to fit into your life in a way that made you feel good about driving, and it did it. You could buy an economical one with a 6-cylinder engine, or you could buy a performance one with a big 270 horsepower engine. You were saying Dan
I
had
was going to say Dan had a good point. Tax incentives for motorcycles.
yes.
They've never done those. I mean, better miles per gallon, reduced traffic, parking congestion. Yeah, if you tell people, hey, we're going to give you a little extra if you get a scooter, you get a motorcycle, you get, there are some advantages like on the ferry.
Yeah.
Here, that's why I had a scooter for a minute, because you can skip the line and go right to the front.
Well,
and it's cheaper.
The reason why, and I have a theory, I don't know if it's true or not. We've never had a motorcycle riding president in the United States. And if we had a motorcycle enthusiast as president, you would see those laws change, because Dan's absolutely right. The bottom line is government hates motorcycles because of the association with motorcycles as anti-American during the Vietnam War, during the 60s protests, because that was the growth of the motorcycle movement in North America. It happened to overlap with the hippie movement. So they got a bad rap right out the bat, and they couldn't, and then you had Brando being difficult in movies. You had Easy Rider. You had hooliganism. You had all these Hell's Angels. Yes, with the Fonz. and go ahead.
I was saying what's funny with the Fonz was he wasn't allowed to wear the leather jacket unless he was near the motorcycle.
Really?
The only time he could wear have the leather jacket on, because they didn't want him wearing leather and looking, rebellious.
Oh.
So there were scenes where he's just leaning against the motorcycle so he could be wearing the leather jacket in that scene.
But that's the reason, I think. That's, and again, it could just be conspiracy theory on my part, but I think that's why motorcycles have never been sort of grouped in sort of this respectful kind of way. And when you think about it, that myth has continued. Tom Cruise, Top Gun Maverick, him speeding on the motorcycle is sort of translated into him being reckless in the air. And all of those kinds of things, when you go through the way motorcycles are depicted in contemporary media, they get a bad rap. So the government has never been really good at rewarding motorcycle users.
Dan is mentioning Atlas, enclosed leaning four-wheeled vehicle. Is that a car or what?
So
is that a trailer you're talking about?
No, I think he's talking about, there are vehicles that have been developed that are two-wheel main driving, which fall in the motorcycle classification, and they have outrigger wheels on each side to help with leaning. So technically it's a four-wheel, but two-wheel contact. I believe that's what Atlas is. There are various vehicles that have been made. There's some two-wheel gyroscopically balanced vehicles that have been manufactured, but they Some of them have been built with outrigger wheels, and some have been built with deployable outrigger wheels. A two-wheel vehicle is considered a motorcycle by DOT standards. A three-wheel vehicle is considered a motorcycle by DOT standards. The minute you have four wheels in 100% contact for vehicle balance on the ground for highway use, that is considered an automobile, and it is then required to meet those standards. There are some exceptions for neighborhood vehicles, golf carts, things like that, but those are not licensed necessarily for highway use.
Right. Local, yeah, small roads, yes, highway not. Fun fact, Henry Winkler never drove the motorcycle because he was so bad at driving. Yeah, there's one scene where he's riding on a bike, and I believe he might have been on a trailer, and he was sitting on it. Speaking of trailer, you've got a local van up on Bring a Trailer.
I do, yeah. This is a great, I don't know if you've ever driven or ridden in one of these. This is the Ford Econoline. I was actually going to go old school with this today because
hold on. Let's just play the old school thing.
All right.
We're going to be switching software soon, so we might not have all these cool, fun features.
All right, today we're going to go old school, and we're going old school back to 1963 in the case of this particular vehicle, but we'd go back actually in 1960 to the development of the Ford Econoline series van and pickup truck. Both the pickup and van were developed simultaneously on a very unique platform. This is effectively a cab-over design in a standard non-commercial based vehicle. But what they did was they put the engine in the middle of the front of the car, and you're sitting, the driver and passenger are side by side with the engine in the middle. Now, this is the Econoline pickup truck. You can see that hump there is the middle where the engine is located.
You can change spark plugs while driving.
You can change spark plugs while driving, but you can sit in that and you can start it while the engine lid is up, and you can actually work on it. Now, the placement of the engine was really very clever. This is very unique packaging, but you sit so far up front in that car that when you're driving, it feels like you're going to fall out of the front of the car or truck. And these were designed and developed in the early 60s. And one of the things that's interesting about them is in early production, they realized that under hard braking, these cars would nosedive and lift at the rear.
Oh,
yeah, because they're front weight heavy. So they actually had to install a 161-pound ballast weight in the rear of the vehicle to prevent it from nosediving. So very interesting. They did not make many of these, but they made the fewest number they made were the 5-window. You can see the corner windows here on this, on the standard one, the standard pickup. They didn't have the corner windows. They were blocked off with steel. But a corner window 1963, this particular model, they only built 1,022 of them.
wow.
So it's a very rare vehicle. Many of these went into service. They were used. Gardeners used them for their vehicles for daily maintenance. Plumbers used them.
It started raining the day you were shooting this.
It started raining, exactly, which is really funny. I actually make a comment of that in the video. And the wipers work. So this one has been modified. It's been very tastefully done, I think. It has a Mustang, 65 Mustang, 200 cubic inch 6-cylinder engine in it. That's about 170 horsepower. Has two-tone paint. It's got custom-made bumpers, which were sectioned and trimmed to fit the profile of the Econoline. Fog lamps. It has the Ford headlights, which are actually pretty rare. Ford branded headlights, and it has a custom interior with custom bucket seats, power headrests, and power adjustments. And again, these are appliance mags, polished aluminum appliance mags. And it's a turnkey runner. Starts, runs, and drives. 3-speed manual on the column. Nice wood, custom wood interior work.
Like a boat.
It is. It's very much like a boat. But if you're looking for a fun vehicle, the owner of this truck tells me every time he's had it out, he'll take it to a show. He can park it next to a Ferrari, and the Ferrari gets no attention. This thing gets all the attention because older people remember them and speak fondly of them. Oh, yeah, I worked for a so-and-so who had such and such, and this was the route I drove. And young people who've never seen anything like it, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
And they're not expensive. If you bought one that needed work and you were handy, you could do the work yourself, and you can buy one that is needy for anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000. If you're looking for one that is finished in much better condition, had a lot of work done on it, you're going to spend anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000. And then if you're looking for a really nice one done like this, expect to pay anywhere between $20,000 and $30,000 because, as anyone will tell you, it'll cost you $50,000 to get something to a finish or a level of finish where you want to drive and enjoy it like this. So
yeah, and this one's a no reserve.
It's no reserve, absolutely. And the current bid, I think, is even under $3,000. But of course, we're hoping to see a lot more than that for it as it moves along. But look at the undercarriage.
Oh, he's got Cobras on there. He should put the white letters out.
These are. This is very well done. The prior owner did all the body work, all the metal work, did the undercarriage very carefully. But look at that front suspension. That's a solid beam axle.
Wow.
That's how old the engineering and development is on this. But really clean, very tidy, nice clean gas tank. Big rear end differential, good shocks, side exhaust. Yeah. It's just a nice little rig, and cold starts right up. So if you're looking for something unique, something you want to have fun with, it's a great way to go old school.
Oh, look at that. You get a little thing with it. You got the Line X warranty. Look at that.
Yep.
You got the radio. Okay. All right.
There's your vintage sales brochure that comes with it.
RPM did some work on it.
Yeah. Yeah, the owner's done a fair amount, put new front tires on it, new rims, did some mechanical service work. So, yeah, it's coming along great.
Some of the comments, what a great build. Usually these leave a little to be desired, not this one. Can you explain what's causing the lean, someone wants to ask?
Yeah, it's kind of leaning over to one side on the front.
It does lean left a little, which the owner does not.
Yes.
I learned how to drive a 1963 Black Econoline. I'll be watching this one closely. I'm very interested. Ooh. Since I'll be traveling from Louisiana to pick up a vehicle in Longview. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so he's scheduling with the owner to see time to come and see it in person.
Nice.
So, yeah, people are excited about it. I think we had about 1,000 views when I when I last checked it, but I think it's creeping up a little bit more.
1,968 views.
That's great. So the weekend usually brings more views. How many watchers are watching?
556.
That's very good. That's very high. The view to watch ratio is important on these auctions.
Yes.
So it's very good, especially at no reserve. That means most of the action will happen later. But look, this is a great little truck. If you're looking for something that's unique, if you like trucks, and who doesn't like trucks, for goodness sakes? Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I've been considering getting a truck, especially since I've spent so much time with yours this past week.
Oh yeah, where is it right now?
It's at my house still.
Oh, you still have it?
I decided to keep it here a little longer, just simply because I can't get that window, the side window, the driver's side window, back up.
Oh, see, I that's partially my fault because I forgot to tell you. It'll lower and then it starts to go off track. So you kind of have to hold it in as you're lowering it. It's completely off the track, but it's still attached at the bottom to go up and down.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not anymore. You went quick.
Well, I saw that it was going down uneven and I stopped. I thought, oh, this is funky. So I just left it like that. And then I went to put it back up and I heard it clunk and I got, oh no. So I grabbed it and started cranking with it to try and ease it up. And it it was not even on the track.
We're gonna have to take the door card off and realign the track
Yep.
in it. Because if you look in the glass, there's two holes in the either side of the glass that's supposed to latch onto something.
Ah, yeah. It's down in the gutter. You can see the top of it. So if we have to reach down to pull it back up, we can certainly do that. But I think you're right. Door card needs to come off, and then there's almost always molded access into the sheet metal where you can get your fingers and adjust some of the things. So hopefully we can skirt it up and get it back on track, and then crank it up and just leave.
That might be next week's show.
There you go. But I made because we were going to get a little rain, I made a cardboard insert for the window, and I put that in. And if rain's in the future, I'll line it with a hefty bag, and then.
Well, there's no carpet in that thing, so if a little water gets in, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, but I sealed the window up. Made a nice tight little cardboard thing to. It's very. When I loaded it up and took all the stuff down to the Rotary auction, which is this weekend.
It's right now.
Yeah, I headed out the driveway, and my wife was watching me leave, and I waved, and she said, "Is it just me, or are you also hearing the theme from Sanford and Sons?"
Well, the truck is not that bad, and you're actually much older than Red Fox was on that show.
You're probably right.
I am too.
Yeah, Red Fox was like in his 40s when he was on that show, but he was playing like a 60-year-old man. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, pickup trucks are great, especially the smaller ones. Great fuel economy. Mini pickup trucks, very utility oriented, super easy to work on. My goodness, you get a Chevy pickup with a 4-cylinder. It's like auto shop mechanics. It's simple to work on. The brakes are very basic. Almost all the parts are available at any Pep Boys, O'Reilly, or Napa parts store. Tires are not expensive. They're usually basic size tires. There's no sophisticated electronics on ones that are made in the mini truck series. Most of that ends up being in vehicles that are into the late 90s, early 2Ks, but by then they're building bigger trucks. But they're just great little vehicles to have around. And I always recommend them for people, especially if they're doing, I bought this house, but it needs a lot of renovation. The first thing I tell them is go buy a $5,000 pickup truck. Even if you only keep it for 2 years while you're doing the renovation, you'll get your money back and then some.
Yeah, I've always had a little truck just because I take our garbage to the dump instead of to our driveway, just because it's easier, believe it or not, and it's actually might be a little cheaper. And this Jeep that we have now, the garbage cans fit straight in the back. I mean, I can take it. It's all enclosed. It's air conditioned, so in the hot summer, I can drive in style.
There you go.
And that's why I'm prepping this truck for sale. So we've got to get the window fixed, get the carpet in.
Yep.
And don't post it on Facebook Marketplace. I hate Facebook Marketplace for stuff. I listed the truck for a lot of money because I was going out of town. Like, if somebody's going to pay this, I'll pay somebody to deliver it for me.
Yeah. And
just the comments people were saying. I mean, trucks like that with 102,000 miles in the condition that's in, they get $5,000 or $6,000.
Absolutely. There's no reason to look. The days of a $2,500 driving truck, especially 5-speed manual, and it's an SS model, which also makes it more desirable.
An S15.
I'm sorry?
It's not an SS.
Oh, it's an S15. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's just an S15. It just has the SS wheels from the Camaro.
That's it. The days of a $2,500 pickup truck are gone, unless you're buying something that has no suspension, or wheels and tires are missing, or glasses.
Or needs an engine.
Needs an engine.
Or it's 300,000 miles on it. I mean, 102,000 mile stick shift, with a brand new radio, mind you.
Yes. And carpet, apparently.
And it'll have new carpet and a new window thing. A couple final things. Ray wanted me to mention. He sent me a couple of videos. I didn't have a chance to download them. I apologize, Ray. uh, but the Stokes auction is coming up.
Ah,
And if we can pull this up, hold on a second. You wanted me to point out there's some amazing cars at this one. I wanted you to see a couple of them.
all right.
All right, let's get to. They changed their website a little bit. It looks a little different. Share screen. All right. So we got a government surplus Chevy Tahoe.
Nice.
Got a little trailer.
Also good.
Got a little flatbed.
Mm-hmm.
Another trailer. Another pickup.
These are big trucks, these pickups.
Yeah, these are some big ones.
Yeah. And
These
you
are
get
the
a vehicle like that, you better be prepared to use it more regularly because that takes up a lot of driveway space.
Yeah.
These are good. These,
Wow, I can't believe this is $3,000 already.
yeah.
98 bids.
How many miles?
165.
That's high miles for this, but it's probably all highway miles. And depending on the.
This is Ray's.
Oh, okay.
97,000 miles, rebuilt title. New battery, radio, and windows all work.
One thing to remember on rebuilt titles, and Dan, you can maybe confirm this. My understanding is there are limits on insurance with a rebuilt title. None at all.
No, they don't. As long as it's titled, most insurance companies will cover it. Where the problem is financing. A lot of you can't, like if you go to a dealership and they're selling a rebuilt title, most banks will not finance. There are a few that will. Okay. It just depends on why it's rebuilt.
Yeah, this is nice.
No, I didn't pull up what it is. What is this?
It looks to me, I want to make it a little bigger to look at some of the detail. It looks like a Dodge.
It is a Plymouth.
Plymouth. Okay. I knew it was a Chrysler product, but it's hard to tell the difference between the Dodge and Plymouth.
I don't know. Plymouth made trucks.
Yeah, they all made trucks. And the reason why is because it was simple enough to make. The truck made a lot of sense back in the era in the early 20s when there was more agriculture than there was industry. So you needed a vehicle to move a lot of stuff around. What's the bid on this currently?
This one's at $3,550 so far.
That's not bad at all. This is a nice older restoration.
So 1937.
Yep. Yeah.
It's not running. It's a non-runner.
Yeah, but it's going to be something simple.
It says electrical issues, maybe other issues. Ran well, but then sat for a year. Now it's got no spark.
Yeah, it's just it needs when you get a vehicle like this, you change the battery, you change the coil, you change all of the electrical components. If it has a ballast resistor, that sort of stuff, you just change all that stuff, and 99% of the time it starts. If it's a wire,
another one.
Yeah, it's probably from the same collector. Again, older restoration. You can tell it's an older restoration because of the colors.
Yeah.
And this again,
Dodge.
Yeah, if you're looking to have fun with a pickup truck, vintage ones are great. Now you got to be mindful of these things because these are all going to be manual transmissions, so you got to know how to use that. And they're all going to have drum brakes. Now, nothing wrong with drum brakes, but they won't stop like a disc brake car. You can upgrade the front suspension. You could drop all of the suspension, put in Mustang 2 suspension, which is independent suspension with A-arms and shock, coilover shock. And you can even change out the engine if you want something a little, but now you're talking about several $1,000s of changes and improvements. But these are great, even with their flathead 6 engines, older engines, 6-volt electrical. You have a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, this one's also not running. Likely needs timing gears.
Well, again, it's a 6-cylinder engine. You can change pretty much everything. You can get the head off of that car. You and I can get the head off of that engine in about 2 hours. And so it's almost all the mechanicals are very easy to do on that car.
Now look at this one. 92 Chevy S10, stick shift, 122,000 miles. It's already at $2,850.
Yeah. That'll sell for probably close to $5,000, maybe more.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll review more of these later. We'll check and see how everything ends. But we are at 11 o'clock already somehow.
Wow. All right. Well,
why are we seeing more Mercury pickups here?
That's a really good question. Mercury pickups, they're the rarer of the Ford Series pickup trucks.
Adam says he's also a non-runner, only a walker. And Adam did mention also his window got busted out. I wanted to talk about, maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Okay.
Driver's side window totally busted. It's cheaper for the company to pay out of pocket than the $1,000 insurance deductible.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
replacement window and that's not that expensive. You go on SafeLight and they'll tell you the quote right off the bat without insurance.
Well, that's the other thing I was wondering about with your car is SafeLight probably come out and get that window fixed, and it might be $150.
I don't know that they'd fix putting it back on the track. They do glass replacement. They don't usually do repair.
The only way to replace that glass is to get the door card off.
Which isn't that hard. It's a bunch of bolts.
That's true.
4 screws and a couple of clips.
We'll have fun with it.
We'll have fun. We'll record it.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'll share it.
And we got to get the seat out too.
Yes. All right, everybody. Well, that's it.
All right.
Ray wants to remind everybody, come to Affordable Used Cars and Trucks. Ask for Ray, get a medium Dutch Brothers coffee. Restrictions apply.
There you go.
The restriction is he has to be there. Adam said it was $600 to pay for it.
Wow.
So that means it was $1,600. So $1,000 deductible plus $600.
No, I think it's $600 cash out of pocket, or you pay the insurance company $1,000 for the deductible.
Oh, all right.
I think that's what it.
Well, Adam will put that in there as the credits are running.
There you go. All right. See ya.
Like and share. Bye.